On tonight's Mob Talk, the mob and their money.
Here's Dave Stratweiser and the Inquirer's George Anastasia with new information from the investigation.
Welcome to this week's edition of Mob Talk. I'm Dave Stratweiser.
And I'm George Anastasia with the Philadelphia Inquirer.
All right, George, I brought you lakeside here at FDR Park in the shade, but we're going to talk about Operation Heat and this 100-degree weather here in Philly.
$2.2 billion illegal gambling operation up in North Jersey, the Lucchese crime family. Very interesting case.
All right, George, Operation Heat, $2.2 billion sports bookmaking operation. It was all about the money, and some good stuff has come out about all that money.
Yeah, and it's a kind of a crime family within a crime family, the Pernas. And Joey Perna, the son of a mob capo, Ralph Perna, his car was bugged, his phone was bugged, and the New Jersey Division of Criminal Justice was basically able to follow the money. That's what this was about. And the key elements, when you think about it, Joey Perna and his wife claimed $63,000 in income over a 2-year period, and at the same time deposited about $330,000 in a bank. And the investigators look at that and say, you know, the money doesn't add up. What's going on here?
It's that old, it doesn't add up kind of thing. And they had plenty of luxury that they had to support with all that money, correct? Walk me through some of their
goodies. $700,000 house up in Bergen County, a summer home in Toms River, Infinity automobile, lots of nice clothes, living high, living large. On one tape he's complaining about, Joe Perna's complaining, I made $67,000 in the last 10 days. I don't have any money left. It went here, it went there. It's all that kind of stuff. It's phenomenal amounts of money. And I think what this case does, among other things, is kind of show you what sports betting is really about. The dollars. It's a tremendous amount of money.
Yeah, we had the Mastronardo case up in Montgomery County, and that was a big multi-million-dollar operation.
Hiding $1 million in your lawn. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of money here, and this is why we constantly see the wise guys going back. They do what they know sports book. And this is what this is about.
All right, let me talk to you about the Pernas a little bit and this high lifestyle kind of situation. A lot of you go by the mob movies or anything you know historically about the mob. Angelo Bruno would never show wealth like that, but these guys are a different generation, and they love to show the wealth, and sometimes to their own peril.
Yeah, I mean, couple interesting things. They talked about seizures in this case. In addition to the homes, there's a Jaguar being seized, there's a Corvette being seized, there's a Mercedes being seized. It wasn't just the Pernas, it was the Pernas and their associates. Right. So they lived well, and it's almost kind of the Joey Merlino kind of, look at me, I'm a gangster. And ironically, I mean, the younger Pernas, even though they're part of the Lucchese family, are very tight with Joey. They were tight with Joey before he went away.
All right, now give me a little insight there. You're not giving me the whole thing. Give me the whole thing.
Sure, because Nicky Scarfield Jr., when he was shot at Dante and Luigi's, is sent up to North Jersey under the protection of the Lucchese's. And it's always been conventional wisdom that Joey was the shooter. Yet the Pernas, who are part of a family that's protecting Scarfield Jr., are in fact close to Joey. It's one of those things within the underworld. It doesn't have to make sense. It is what it is. And Nicky Scarfield Jr. is another defendant in this case we're talking about.
Right, now, are they communicating, the Pernas and Joey, from what we can tell?
I think Joey, you know how Joey is. Joey reaches out to a lot of people. I think he does talk to the younger Pernas. I don't know what his relationship is with Ralph, the capo, but I know he has a relationship at least with Joe Perna.
And now, does that make Nicky Scarfield Jr. think a little bit, do you think?
You know, it's such a soap opera within these crime families. I'm sure everybody's always looking over their shoulders, and it's always shifting alliances. That Lucchese faction in New Jersey has always been very antagonistic. Even within their own organization, there was Tumac Asatura, there were the Tessetas, and there were the Pernas. And they were always kind of aligned with one another, but at odds with one another, historically.
All right, take the picture from North Jersey and move it down here to South Philly. Joe Legambi lives in a nice house in Packer Park, very nice house, drives a brand new Cadillac. Down the shore all the time, doesn't seem to be hurting at all for money, but we don't know what he's showing yet, and we probably won't know until there's some kind of indictment.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the things, going all the way back to Al Capone, one of the things investigators have always done is, all right, here's your income, where's it coming from? Show me how you legitimately got this money. So yeah, if you look at the way Legambi lives, you look at some other individuals like Gaten Lucibella, like Johnny Ciangalini, you know, they're living well, they're driving nice cars. What's their occupation? What's their source of funds? Where does it come from? Down the road, if there's an indictment, I think it's one of the questions that will be asked.
Always a stumbling block in those situations.
Historically, always has been. Even if you remember the last racketeering case, George Borghese got jammed up with money that his wife was depositing in the banks. Where did that money come from? And, you know, it's one of the things you can't hide is financial transactions. You can hide a lot of things. You can put money under your mattress. But once you start to spend it, those financial transactions create a record, and law enforcement's right on top of it.
From flat screen TVs to luxury cars and houses at the shore.
Yeah, all of that. And I think all of that factors in. And these guys, I mean, it's like you said, it's the days of Angelo Bruno, staying in the shadows, living small, don't exist anymore. These guys, look at me, I'm a gangster, I want a nice car, I want a nice house, I want a house at the shore, I want to do this, I want to do that. It all can come around and bite them.
George, Joey Perna wasn't the only one who liked a luxury car. Apparently he liked to ferry the mob bosses around in that luxury car when they came here to Jersey.
Yeah, the Lucchese crime family leaders from New York, when they came over to Jersey, usually Joey Perna would drive them around, and the Attorney General's office had bugged his car. So what you have in addition to all these financial records is you've got tapes where the leaders of the Lucchese family are talking about the inner workings of the organization. And when you go to trial, that's key, those kind of things. And you can't cross-examine a tape. We've said that again and again and again.
And there's a good tape in there where he actually says what business they're in.
Talks about the business they're in, and he also talks about historically the fractions within the New Jersey organization and how it was the Hatfields and the McCoys, and finally that settled down. So yeah, you've got a lot of that, and I think we haven't even seen all the transcripts in this case. If it goes to trial, I think it's going to be very interesting to track all of that.
You're salivating over those tapes, right? You want to hear them all.
You can't make this stuff up. You listen to these guys. That's what's good about it, yeah.
And sometimes you don't even have to tell a story. They tell a story themselves.
They put it all out there, absolutely.
Yeah. George, we would be remiss if we ended Mob Talk without talking about a development in the case against Marty Angelina, the mob underboss here, and his aggravated assault case in Margate against a Margate police officer. Some developments.
Yeah, he's got a date in court early in August, I think, to resolve this case where he spit on the officer last summer. So I think it's been resolved. I think he's going to plead out, but we'll wait and see. It's, I think, the first week in August, Atlantic County Superior Court.
Okay, a little more heat this summer.
Absolutely.
All right, George, thanks again. That's Mob Talk for this week. We'll see you next week.